if we don't register any new case for next few years, it will take 300 years to clear the backlog. The next biggest problem today is corruption in all systems of life. In many of the cases where some shootout took place when we went to raid the criminal's house, we used to see a uniform hanging, police uniform. Every encounter specialist of Mumbai have suffered a setback. Nobody got into glory and walked into a sunset. Now also it's happening in various states. I don't want to name them. In thousands. We say that Mumbai mafia has been decimated completely. What is decimated is only the violent crime where they come and shot the businessmen.
Hi everybody, I am today with Mr. D. Sivanandhan, one of the finest police commissioners Mumbai has had. He was not only the police commissioner of Mumbai, he was also the Director General of Police of Maharashtra, an officer with a fantastic track record. And the role he played, rather the leadership he provided in completely dominating the underworld of Mumbai, which was threatening so many people's lives and made a complete mess of the city life and the city's economy. After the coming in of Mr. Sivanandhan, there's a complete, the first time ever the police got complete the upper hand over the underworld. We are here with him to not only discuss his latest book, the Brahmastra, which is doing very well, and it is on the way to become a bestseller nationally. Also generally about his role and then his leadership in handling Mumbai's underworld. Thank you, Mr. Sivanandhan.
Thank you so much
For coming to our studio.
Very nice meeting you,
Yeah,
Mr. Balakrishnan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sir, you are dealt in the book Brahmastra about the underworld and all that. Don't you think one of the prime reasons for the growth of underworld is the judicial delays? So people do commit murders and all that, and then nothing happens for 10, 12 years. The trial starts after more than a decade. The witnesses would have died or they would have lost their memory, kind of thing. And because of it, the rate of conviction is not going up as it should, kind of thing. So don't you think unless and until the justice delivery system is speeded up in our country, there is no way of even thinking of tackling the underworld? What is your take on that?
This is a brilliant question, Bala. Only point is we can't put all the blames on one particular doorstep. Since you started, the question is a little bit of a provoking thing. I started thinking, one is judicial delay, no doubt about it, 100%. There are 30 million cases which are pending. If we don't register any new case for next few years, it will take 300 years to clear the backlog.
Oh my.
300 years, imagine. So that much we are adding every day so that the delays. For example, I'll come back to my other points later, remind me. But picking up on your point, the recent bomb blast case of 2006 railways, after 17 years, all of them are acquitted. The other, that Nasik case, which is that village where Pragya Thakur is the Malegaon case. Another 17 years and gone. Salman Khan, the Gadi which ran without a driver, 20 years later he was acquitted, and the judiciary or police never found who was driving the car. It's a mystery even
exactly.
now. So with this kind of a delay, I fully agree with you that neither the witnesses will be available, nor the others are available, nor policemen who were investigating are available. And with all that, sure enough, they get acquitted. So my pet theory is that we have to expedite the disposal of the criminal cases trial in such a way, in a year or two, or year and a half or 2.5, either we get acquittal or conviction, I don't bother about it. But the delivery of justice has to be quick. For that, whatever happens, the number of courts has to increase, number of this and all that. The basic foundation of democracy, the basic faith of the people in the government, system, bureaucracy, democracy, everything depends upon quick delivery of justice. Yeah. So I, as a policeman, don't believe that everything should be convicted. Not at all. Acquittal, fine. But do it fast. Don't keep hanging.
Exactly.
For example, your 1993 blast case, 200 years, still it is going on and on and on and on.
So all over India, 5 crore cases are choking the system, the judicial system.
Correct,
5 crore cases.
Correct. I told you 5 crore cases have to be disposed. It will take another 300 years.
Exactly.
The system is choking because of the various reasons. The judges are not taking it on very head on. The lawyers want more and more and date, and then also it's a design sometimes that they delay it for 20 years so that for example, that constable Ravindra Patil or whoever who was sitting in front of the Salman Khan's car is dead and gone by the time trial came. So it could be that the people design it in such a way to delay helps the accused.
So would you take the lead in starting a national movement to ensure judicial reform so that any case, the civil or criminal, attains finality within 1 year?
Certainly, but unfortunately, this Lokpal movement by all our great people who started now recently, Lokpal, the concept is being attacked by people because they wanted some BMW cars. Now everything can be ridiculously brought on the roadside. So any movement we do, we'll have to really work at it. Otherwise, I am afraid, Mr. Balakrishnan, that the country someday is not going to tolerate this kind of armed revolution is not going to happen in this country because our dharma, our religion, various things are not allowing to people to think like that. So that is ruled out. Even the one armed revolution we can talk of is the Maoist revolution that also has petered out now after a long time. That is the only movement lasted from 1972 to now. But then, so I'm not worried about the armed revolution, but then the intolerance of the people against the system would certainly go up. Definitely. The other two reasons which I wanted to add on to your point is the politician criminal nexus.
So that is
another big issue. The criminals have become politicians, and politicians earlier were doing nexus thing. The next biggest problem today is corruption in all systems of life. Whether it is the judicial system or the police or the prison or irrigation or bandkam or sadak yojana, everywhere corruption
become mainstream. Sir.
So when you started off this question, there is not only criminal judicial system struggling to exist, but the politicians and others have also contributed a lot to that, and also this corruption. I would even bring corruption to as number one reason and the other things as number two and number three.
I entirely agree with you, sir. So since you touched upon the issue of the politician Underworld nexus, don't you think Dawood Ibrahim himself was promoted by a senior Congress politician of Maharashtra?
I cannot subscribe to that, Bala, unfortunately, because I, being an IPS officer trained in evidence and proof and shadow beyond, any proof beyond a shadow of doubt kind of a thing we live in, unless we have a solid proof, evidence, we can't subscribe to such theories. In a loose way, when we are talking personally, okay, you say I will not disagree with you kind of thing. But actually to put it on in front of a public and prove is just not possible.
So, but isn't it too much of a coincidence that with the rise of this politician and the rise of Dawood, both went
that way all over the world, so many people have risen and
circumstantial evidence is so very strong.
Fine, see, listen, this is a loose conclusion anybody can reach, but as a police officer who needs evidence in front of me, which is also beyond any doubt, unless that comes, I can't be in a position where I can subscribe to such thing. But then, whenever evidence came, we never spared anybody. CBI, I worked in CBI as a joint director for 3 years, and also in the Intelligence Bureau for 6 years. So many chief ministers have been convicted. Leave one particular person you are talking about, Madam Jayalalitha for that matter, or Mr. Sukram of Himachal Pradesh, and so many other chief ministers have been convicted of corruption and various other things. So there is not all dark cloud everywhere. Some silver lining is also there.
Sir, it is being said that the systematic campaign against Varadaraj Mudaliar, who was a real don of Mumbai, it was done at the behest of this Congress politician so that the vacuum created by his absence, Varadabhai's absence, will be filled up by Dawood.
Unfortunately, I wasn't here in Mumbai. Maybe I wasn't somewhere in Maharashtra in a small village or so as Superintendent of Police. But later when I came, and then it became only a theoretical subject for me to study and find out. I never had a chance to interrogate or handle Varadarajan Mudaliar. That was during 82 or 84
Yeah.
when Mr. Ribeiro was
Ribeiro was
the
the commissioner,
CP,
yeah.
and one DCP was handling that matter.
Vice
So
Pawar.
what all happened was all known to you maybe,
Yeah.
but then I wouldn't go back. I will only go at a macro of Karim Lala from 1940, Haji Mastan, Varadarajan Mudaliar, then Dawood Ibrahim, then Abu Salem, Arun Gawli, Amar Naik. So I would look at it as a macro scene.
Yeah.
I would not pluck it out, Varadarajan Mudaliar alone or Karim Lala alone. This is a growth, I will say inorganic growth, not organic growth, inorganic growth where these things happen. Earlier, when I mentioned one more point, that one when you mentioned about judicial system,
Yeah.
I gave you political people participating, corruption. One more I would like to add is what? What? It slipped my mind. I'll come back to you.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
go ahead.
So one more aspect of the underworld in Mumbai is the nexus. You mentioned about politician gangster nexus, but there was also strong nexus between some certain policemen and the underworld. So much so that people used to talk of gang war within the police.
I would stop you because I am a policeman and I start getting worked up about it. Tell me, policemen come from where? They come from the same society where the criminals are also coming.
Yeah.
In many of the cases where some shootout took place, when we went to raid the criminal's house, we used to see a uniform hanging, police uniform. When we asked, the policeman's sister was married to the gangster. So these nexus are what? See, it's a society where they live very, very closely. So there are policemen also working in gangs. We dealt with them as gangsters only. I don't want to take the name of them. So when policemen are accused of participating on behalf of some gang or the other, I wouldn't deny that. I would agree to that. But unfortunately, that will come under that bucket which I gave you, the corruption bucket. The irresistible amount of money given by the gangsters to these
Unbelievable,
people.
sir. Unbelievable.
Then tell me,
Yeah.
policemen are succumbing to that.
So some years back,
Now tell me, I also would like to counter question you.
Yeah.
What was the guarantee or what was the support given by the government for policemen to insulate themselves from such kind of irresistible offers?
Nothing.
Nothing. Policeman, listen to
Yeah.
me. If a policeman was prosecuted, not even a lawyer is given to them.
That's true.
He sad jata hai. I would like to remind you of the movie called Ardha Satya.
Yeah.
Even though it's a movie,
Yeah, yeah.
saw that officer
Amrapur
sad
Patla.
gaya wo.
Yeah, that's true.
What a movie it was. So, in reality, Bala, I would like to say that policemen or black sheep were there. But then it is for us. I also would like to point out to you that these guys face the nemesis. The face nemesis.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, alleged false encounter, 4.5 years, one so-called encounter specialist was there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take the names of them. Somebody else was suspended multiple times, multiple jails, and then reinstated and things like that. And they were all reinstated, or such people thrived even now or earlier because of political support.
Sir, some years
Who
back,
brought Sachin Vajay back after 16 years of exile?
everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Then you are telling me that I am telling you that because of this kind of a thing, these political people supporting, the encounter specialists thrived.
So some years back, I was in Dubai, and then I met Dawood Ibrahim in his palatial house called White House. And while I was talking to him, his PA came and told him that there is a call for you from Mumbai. So he asked him who. Then he mentioned the name of an assistant police commissioner. So Dawood winked at me, and then he put the phone. He told me like keep quiet. He pressed the speaker phone. The assistant commissioner is calling Dawood and telling that sir, आपका बेटी का शादी है, तो आपका याद आ मैंने. तो बोला कितना चाहिए? साहब जो आपको लगे आपका बेटी का शादी है. So finally he said, I am sending you 10 lakhs, by evening it will reach you. And then Dawood put the speaker phone off, and then he just said, this is your Mumbai police.
Now listen to me. I told you very easily, I have not come here to discuss with you and prove that all the 10 lakhs of policemen are Maharashtra mein 2.5 lakhs, Mumbai mein 50,000. All of them are great guys. God said no. We recruit them from the society, and the society comes along with all black, yellow, green color. It is for the commissioner of police or for the leader to show them the way, and I have shown them the way. And then because of the integrity and honesty and the other thing beyond a doubt, we proved that all these allegations were wrong, and the same Mumbai police, which you are saying that were part of the gang and things like that, did the good job, and from 2001 or 2002 to 2025, zero encounters and zero killings of policemen. Same done by the same Mumbai police, but the leadership did make a lot of difference. So now tell me, when all these years, 1940, Varadarajan Mudaliar and all, you are talking about the Congress leader, what was the police commissioners and others doing? They could have played a very decisive role against Varadarajan Mudaliar or whatever it is. So I'm saying that in a mosaic where there is a system or system failure, politicians are playing one role, policemen are playing, judicial system, prison system, so many things do play a role in that. So picking out one system and saying that isme galti hai is also very approach is not complete, I would like to say.
Sir, I entirely see your point, sir. But then the thing is, these days, the post of senior senior inspectors of certain police stations like DB Marg and Dongri and Paidoni and all, they are being auctioned to the highest bidders. So the man who pays money and comes to that post.
I'm sorry again, I'm butting in, sorry. Because I'll tell you one thing. When the entire system is corrupt, do you mean to say only the police stations are being sold, not the senior other posts?
That's true.
So if senior posts are being sold or
Exactly,
people go
sir.
there, why not the police station?
No,
And when a senior person is offering other compensations and getting into senior position, obviously all these things, auctions will be follow up.
Exactly.
So today, Mr. Bala, I want to say it is not limited to the constables on the road or the senior inspector and others. The corruption is touching up to the highest level.
Obviously.
I'm not talking the police alone.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the entire system. Entire system. Why there was a crores of currency burning behind a High Court judge's house? Now is he a senior police inspector?
Yeah.
Why are we leaving them behind?
Yeah,
Why only focus on a senior inspector? He is a small cog in the wheel.
Nothing can happen to that judge.
It will not happen.
17
Anything will
crore
not
has
happen.
happened. Nothing has happened to that
Nothing
judge.
will happen to them.
Yeah.
Also, look at all the top chaps, who are people at the highest levels of placement in various agencies and government departments. That is all true. I don't want to name them. Everywhere. I mean, I don't want to pinpoint certain names because we are discussing only police. We take all the beating. What about other departments whom I don't want to name? They're all there, Unless the cleaning up is happening everywhere simultaneously by some movement like JP Narayan movement or something, where corrupt people are purged at the highest level, we can't get any redemption from the morass which we have reached now. Yeah.
Sir, one of the simplistic approach to crime control is their talk of encounters. Kill criminals in encounters. Do you think encounter is the way of ridding the society of
I
criminals?
want to tell you, Mr. Balakrishnan, on record, this one repudiates, denies, disagrees, negates the idea that encounters is the solution. Encounters happened during my time also, but then when the policemen went there, policemen were also killed. For example, JJ Hospital shootout in 1992, I am sure you know that, when Subhash Singh Thakur went there to kill Sailesh Haldankar, who was a criminal who was connected to the bed and treatment, 2 policemen were also killed. There was a Thakur sub-inspector who was 6 policemen and 7th is an officer protecting. They were also killed. And again, 98 when I joined, 3 policemen died in the so-called skirmish or encounter, we can say. So my point is very simple. Encounter is absolutely no solution. It's a very few people resort to it for various reasons. As I mentioned earlier, every encounter specialist of Mumbai have suffered a setback. Nobody got into glory and walked into a sunset. So let us not believe that encounters is the very... now also it's happening in various states. I don't want to name them. In thousands. So that is a shortcut. I want you to believe me that law and the pure and majesty of law has to be implemented. I am talking about MCOCA.
Sir, you are the person behind introducing MCOCA kind of thing. Do you think it has served the purpose in controlling organized crime?
Absolutely, absolutely to a limited extent, Bala. I want to say this organized crime in USA or France or in Japan or in China is not there even today. It is there. Yakuza is there in Japan. Russia mafia is known to you very well.
Yeah.
So even in the country, even though we say that Mumbai mafia has been decimated completely, what is decimated is only the violent crime where they come and shot the businessman. But today, land mafia is not there. Boo mafia, as they call it, but then your water mafia, forest mafia, narcotics mafia, or arms race mafia, prostitution, race horse, cricket betting. All this is what?
That is true.
So nobody on earth can claim, Bala, neither me nor anybody, that we have eliminated mafia. Not at all. What is the claim is the Mumbai police or me saying is that people are coming to your house to shoot you, threaten the wife or being taken away or the child in the school being kidnapped. That is not there. The next phone call is a terrorizing phone call. The businessman used to tremble and shiver. I used to record thousands of calls in a day where billionaires and millionaires used to beg and cry in front of that same gangsters.
So now the gangsters have become builders. Some of the builders.
They are. Why? There was a news item 10 days before that a case has been registered against DK Rao. He was doing the Dharavi project.
Dharavi, yeah.
Now he is a consultant.
Yeah.
Now I am giving you evidence of what you are saying. There is one more gangster also. He is also a consultant, and very many others are working. But they again tell me the whole gangsterism in Mumbai was brought by these realtors, builders, and promoters only, because when this old Rent Control Act was not revised to evict people from Dharavi or any other area where the project had to come up, they had used gangsters. So on invitation by the builders, gangsters came into the being, okay? And then they suffered. Builders who all were killed, Vallabh Thakkar, Om Prakash Kukreja, Natwarlal Shah, Pradeep Jain, and multiple people were shot dead.
Exactly.
But we stopped it from 1998. 1998 onwards until today, no builder has been shot.
No, 1998 was a watershed.
Correct. Yeah. That is the time I came, and that is a watershed. And I'm talking about the initiatives by the Mumbai police and the strategies which they followed. It's not one encounter, as you say. Multiple other things also happened. But I want to repeat again, I'm repeating to the listeners that because of this bunch of strategies we followed, the encounters stopped. Now he is all the time worried about encounters. Encounters has become zero. It is irrelevant. No encounter specialist is relevant today. So when we made the system correction, the heroes, encounter specialists have become irrelevant.
Yeah,
that is the solution which we should get, and that is what I claim to have given to the city. The next one is even the shootout by gangsters against businessmen is also zero. The exception is Baba Siddiqui by Lawrence Bishnoi of Canada fame, and one man has been killed. Otherwise, we have given you peace. Your exporters are working well, your buildings are coming up, your cars, BMWs and Mercedes cars you see on the road, every third car is a sophisticated car. So we have given complete change of crime history by resorting to these things.
So just one final question, which is that despite all the police machinery, intelligence machinery, everything, till date we have not been able to neutralize Dawood Ibrahim. He is not only a gangster, he has become an international terrorist designated by the State Department of the US administration, by the United Nations kind of thing. But till date, our entire machinery of India, not only Bombay I'm talking of, we have failed to tackle this one man.
One escape route I must tell you, escape route I must take with your approval. It is not for the state police to go and to have eliminated Dawood Ibrahim or Chota Rajan. Whoever went away, I didn't have a passport during that time to go abroad and do international operations.
No, I'm not talking about
I'm telling you on record why Dawood Ibrahim did not, and others who had the remit, whether they had an intention of eliminating him or not, I don't know, because I don't know who has got the remit and why they have not done. Okay, if US or United Nations have declared him as the most wanted drug-related terrorist, why they have went to Abbottabad to take away Osama bin Laden? Why US not enforce this against him? So do we blame our own system or blame USA for everything? US cannot solve our problem. Kindly, Atmanirbharta of is what I would like to advocate. We should have done. But allegedly, some people did try to go and reach out to him, but it failed, it fizzled out. That experiment fizzled out, but I don't know about that, so I can't comment about that. But Mumbai police and me and others did do what is possible within our given limited geography and the law and various other things which we were given with. Going to Pakistan, going to Cambodia and all that is just not possible actually for a state police, because it's a federal setup, no? Government of India, R&AW, then IB, then various other organizations have this kind of a area, reach out and the resources and all that. I'm telling you, I didn't have a passport.
So forget going to Pakistan, sir, but the question is, his empire, his business commitment in Mumbai alone is huge, running into thousands and thousands of crores. Why there is no crackdown on his people in Mumbai?
No, his people have been cracked down. Where is the violence?
No, but then
They listen, you are going into some other thing. I have told you repeatedly right from the beginning of our conversation. Mine was to restore law and order. Mine was restore the fear which was there, to remove the fear in the minds of the people, business to flourish, and government to, I want to say in 1983, on 6th September, a shootout took place, gangster Dawood Ibrahim and then on 30th September, 23 days, the same guys who were shot were brought again, the other gang shot them.
Yeah,
that kind of ignominy doesn't happen now.
So
you remember, no, hold on. Remember Babu Rashim being killed in 1987?
I was going to come to
and
that.
then what about Ashwin Naik being shot dead in 94? We have put
So you have mentioned in the book about Babu Rashim's case.
Yeah.
You have mentioned that one of the most dreaded kind of shootout has taken place.
Correct.
Why did you single out Babu Rashim's case?
Babu Rashim, he was supposed to be one of the thing. See, Rama Naik was shot in a barber's saloon.
Yeah, saloon,
Why the policemen were protecting him or what? So I have not highlighted Rama Naik. But this guy had a sovereign guarantee of 7 policemen protecting him in a police lockup. My blood boils.
Jacob Circle.
My blood boils. Some people walk into the place and shoot him and go away. And the policeman's only credit is that they were not shot dead. That is why I have highlighted that. I have highlighted the court matter also. This is with impunity. They are challenging the government, the supremacy and the majesty of law. So as a policeman, I can't tolerate. So I mentioned that.
Okay.
I mentioned that because he died in a lockup. JJ Hospital also I have given a lot of highlight in that, because again in custody, 7 policemen were there in custody, he was killed. I am telling you repeatedly, sovereign promise that you under custody. I am against every custodial death also. Some sadharan narcotic fellows are brought and they are dying in their custody. I am dead against that. I have conducted a study at Joint CP Crime. Who are the people dying in custody? The lowest of these. So no rich man ever died in custody.
That's true.
Some people might have died because of medical reasons in the jail. But in the police custody, no rich man ever got beaten. No rich man ever got killed.
So rich men go to 5-star hospitals.
That is fine. That's fine. See, listen, it is part of this system.
I
cannot say anything about it. But then politicians took the route, businessmen took the route. It is all, see, these holes are all there everywhere. It is for us to plug.
That is true.
But again, I would like to sum up our discussion by saying that if every individual takes the cudgel and then fight against the kind of ills which we have described and put up a best possible show, maybe there is a chance of redemption. And we can do. I have done my best, and my book I would like to say again before going that this is not about Sivanandhan's achievement. This is the achievement of the Mumbai police, which was blamed that they were partisan, they participated in gangs and they worked on behalf of gangs, called Dawood Ibrahim, asked for bakshish and all that. Shame on them. But when a leadership was given, a challenge was given, the same police worked as one man and proved it. And the taste of the pudding is in the eating. That is, from 2002 to 2025, we gave a violence-free, crime-free. Crime means normal crime is there. And also I would like to part company with you by saying, instead of doing all this violent crime, the same gangsters can do cyber crime and thrive. But the last year, what we lost was 22,282 crores in cyber crime. And this year will be 25% more.
Bloodless
coup. It is a bloodless coup. So that is what we must also say, if we had more time, I would have described, as per the changing times, everything. In the first part of our segment, I forgot about one point. You mentioned about court, I mentioned about politician, I mentioned about corruption. The fourth one I remembered is that the changing policies of the government. See, for example, Gold Control Act brought all smuggling from
Smuggler,
there.
that's true.
Your Rent Control Act brought all the
Real
gangsters
estate,
to
yeah,
evict.
yeah.
And the pricing difference
Yeah,
in
yeah.
GST for that matter, 28%, then the mall comes from abroad.
That's true.
So with all these things, the crimes changed as per the government policies like that.
Yeah.
So when you say that the police is a black sheep are there, can we not say that the government also do?
Definitely,
Say for
definitely.
example, your prohibition policy in Bihar or in Gujarat or in any other part of the country, do you think it will ever work? But then we are bringing such things and
Exactly.
making police and excise department others highly corrupt.
Exactly. I entirely agree with you.
So you have to work in a bigger, broader canvas
Macro level.
and be practical.
Yeah.
Bihar, do you think prohibition policy works?
That's why they're going to give country liquor now. That is,
My
they
God.
announced it yesterday they
Okay,
announced
let us
it.
not go into that. Let Bihar do its own election. Very, very nice
Sir, thank
talking
you
to
so much. Thank you so much for coming and for your candid views.
Yeah.
It's a real pleasure talking to you. And on behalf of the FPGA Parivar, I would like to thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
very,
for coming.
very nice
Thank you
talking
so
to
much.
you. Very
Thank you.
nice talking
Thank
to
you.
you.